Welcome to the Shigeaki Podcast, where science and longevity come together to help you feel stronger and live longer, one wise choice at a time. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, and I'm honored to be here with you today. I want to start with a question that might challenge what you've always believed, that eggs are often called the perfect food. But did you know that eating them the wrong way can turn this superfood into a real health risk? Eggs have been praised for decades as one of nature's most complete foods. They're rich in protein, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats. Many nutrition experts, myself included, call them a nutrient powerhouse. But here's the surprising part. Not all ways of preparing or eating eggs are equal. Some habits can actually undo the benefits and even put your heart, digestion, or energy at risk. Let me share a story. One of my patients, Robert, is 70 years old. He's disciplined, health conscious, and always believed he was doing the right thing by starting his mornings with eggs. Every day for years, he ate 2 fried eggs with toast. At first it seemed harmless, even healthy. But after a few months, Robert noticed changes. His cholesterol had crept up. He felt heavy and sluggish after breakfast. His digestion wasn't as smooth, bloating, and indigestion became daily struggles. When he came to me, Robert was frustrated. He asked, "Doctor, I thought eggs were supposed to be good for me. Why am I feeling worse?" And here's where the twist comes in. The problem wasn't the eggs themselves. The problem was how he was eating them. This is the reality many older adults face. Eggs are not villains. In fact, they can be a powerful ally for healthy aging. But when eaten in the wrong form, wrong amount, or wrong combination, they can lose their benefits and even cause harm. That's why today's conversation matters so much. And I'm not here alone. To unpack this topic with me is someone I deeply admire, a man whose wisdom about longevity and daily habits has guided generations, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you, Mark, and hello to everyone listening. Eggs are indeed remarkable compact packages of protein, choline, lutein, and other nutrients that support the brain, eyes, and muscles. But as we age, our relationship with food changes. After 60, the digestive system slows down. Cholesterol is harder to regulate. Muscles still need high-quality protein, but the way we deliver it becomes more important. That's why eating eggs the smart way is essential. It's not about fear, and it's not about giving them up. It's about avoiding the hidden mistakes that can quietly turn eggs from a healing food into a burden on your body. So in this episode, we will reveal 5 dangerous mistakes many people make with eggs, mistakes that are common but also easy to fix. And more importantly, we'll show you the right ways to prepare, combine, and enjoy eggs so you can get all of their benefits without worry. By the end of today's conversation, you will know how to make eggs work for your heart, your muscles, and your longevity.
So, stay with us. And before we dive in, if you or someone you love is over 60, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. The simple changes we're about to share could transform your morning plate into a true recipe for strength and health.
Let's start with one of the most common mistakes: frying eggs in too much fat. For many people, the picture of a perfect breakfast is 2 or 3 eggs, sizzling in a pan full of butter, bacon grease, or heavy oil. It smells delicious, it feels comforting, and it's a habit many of us learned from childhood. But here's the problem: when you cook eggs this way, you're not just adding flavor, you're also adding a heavy load of saturated fat, and depending on the temperature, harmful oxidized compounds.
Saturated fats from butter, margarine, or processed oils can increase LDL cholesterol, the kind linked to clogged arteries. And when fats are heated to very high temperatures, especially in repeated frying, they break down into compounds that promote inflammation and oxidative stress in the body. This is especially concerning for people over 60 whose blood vessels are already more vulnerable to stiffness and plaque buildup. I've seen patients who thought they were eating a protein-rich breakfast with eggs every morning, but because they were fried in butter or bacon grease, their cholesterol shot up and their blood pressure worsened. The eggs themselves weren't the enemy, it was the way they were cooked.
Yes, Mark, and this is something I have noticed as well. When older adults complain of feeling heavy or tired after breakfast, it is often because their eggs were fried in a way that added more burden than benefit. A fried egg soaked in oil may carry twice the calories of a boiled egg without any extra nutrition. The added fat slows digestion, leaving many people with bloating or discomfort. And we must remember the body after 60 is less forgiving. Arteries are less elastic, metabolism is slower, and excess fats are more likely to be stored rather than burned. The result can be weight gain, higher triglycerides, and even more inflammation in the joints. This is why the method of cooking is just as important as the food itself.
The good news is that the fix is simple. Instead of frying them in butter or heavy oils, choose gentler methods like boiling, poaching, or steaming. These methods keep the nutrients intact without adding unnecessary fats. If you enjoy the taste of a fried egg, that's still possible. Just cook it quickly with a small drizzle of extra virgin olive oil at moderate heat. Olive oil is rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and antioxidants, which remain stable at cooking temperatures. This way, you can enjoy the flavor and texture you love while protecting your heart and digestion.
Another tip is to balance your plate. Pair your eggs with vegetables, avocado, or whole grain toast instead of bacon or sausages. This combination supports muscle, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps you energized without the post-meal slump. Eggs should be a foundation of strength, not a source of silent harm. By making this small adjustment, you transform breakfast from a heavy, risky meal into a nourishing start to the day.
The second mistake is one I see constantly, especially among older adults who are cautious about cholesterol, eating only egg whites and throwing away the yolks. For decades, people were told that the yolk was dangerous because it contains cholesterol and fat. As a result, many seniors got into the habit of making egg white omelets or discarding the golden center of the egg altogether. But here's the truth: when you skip the yolk, you're also skipping most of the nutrition. The yolk is where you'll find choline, lutein, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and essential fatty acids. These are nutrients that protect the brain, sharpen the eyes, and strengthen the bones, exactly what becomes more important after the age of 60.
Yes, Mark. One of my patients, ME68, had been eating only egg whites for years. She thought she was making the healthiest choice. But when we checked her blood work, she was deficient in vitamin D and showing early signs of memory decline. After reintroducing whole eggs in moderation, her energy improved, her lab results stabilized, and she felt stronger. Egg whites are an excellent source of protein. Yes, but protein alone does not equal complete nutrition. Without the yolk, you're missing the very parts of the egg that make it a superfood.
That's a critical point, Shigeaki. The yolk is nature's package of brain and eye nutrients. Choline is essential for neurotransmitters, the messengers that help the brain think clearly and muscles move smoothly. Lutein is a carotenoid that protects the retina, lowering the risk of macular degeneration, a common cause of vision loss in older adults. And vitamin D from the yolk supports bone strength, immune health, and mood. By removing the yolk, older adults are unintentionally removing their protection against the very issues they fear: most memory loss, poor eyesight, fragile bones. This is why context matters. It is not about avoiding yolks completely, but about using them wisely and in balance with the rest of the diet. I often tell my patients the danger is not the yolk itself, but too many poor lifestyle choices: combined smoking, processed meats, excess sugar. When you live healthily, overall moderate yolks are not only safe, but beneficial.
So what's the solution? Eat the whole egg. For most healthy adults, over 60, having about 5 to 7 eggs per week is perfectly safe and provides all the nutritional benefits without overwhelming the body. The key is moderation and balance. If you have a history of heart disease or high cholesterol, don't fear the yolk, but do consult your doctor to tailor the right intake for you. Often it's not about eliminating eggs, but about adjusting portion sizes and pairing them with heart-healthy foods like vegetables, avocados, or whole grains.
Eggs were designed by nature to be eaten as a whole. When you respect that balance, you get the protein from the white and the essential nutrients from the yolk working together for your brain, eyes, and bones. Do not throw away the yolk, it's where most of the magic lives.
And next, one of the most classic breakfast plates in America is the combination of eggs with bacon or sausage. For many, it's the taste of tradition, savory, satisfying, and comforting. But from a medical standpoint, this pairing is one of the worst ways to start your day, especially after the age of 60. Here's why: processed meats like bacon and sausage are loaded with sodium nitrates, nitrites, and unhealthy fats. Sodium pushes blood pressure higher, straining your arteries and your heart. Nitrites and nitrosamines, chemicals used in curing meat, have been linked to inflammation and even cancer risk. And the saturated fats in these meats worsen cholesterol levels and accelerate artery stiffness. So when you put eggs, a high-quality protein, next to bacon or sausage, you're sending your body two very different signals. The eggs say, repair muscles, protect the brain, nourish the body. The processed meat says, inflame the arteries, raise blood pressure, stress the system. Over time, the negative side wins out. I've seen patients who eat eggs daily but pair them with bacon, and they wonder why their lab results keep getting worse. It isn't the eggs that are the problem, it's the company they keep.
Yes, Shigeaki, and this is something I emphasize with my patients as well. Food combinations matter. Eggs themselves are not harmful. In fact, they are among the most complete proteins available. But when eaten with processed meats, they become part of a pro-inflammatory meal. For older adults, inflammation is especially dangerous. It contributes to arthritis flare-ups, memory decline, and cardiovascular disease. Many people think it's just breakfast. It's small, but these repeated daily habits build up silently. After months or years, the damage is visible. Higher blood pressure, stiffer joints, and slower recovery after activity. Instead, we must remember that eggs shine brightest when paired with foods that support their strengths. For example, tomatoes add lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that protects blood vessels. Avocados provide monounsaturated fats that stabilize cholesterol. Leafy greens like spinach deliver magnesium and vitamin K, which support muscle and bone health. And oats bring fiber to keep blood sugar steady. When you combine eggs with these foods, the message to your body is consistent: lower inflammation, improve strength, and protect longevity.
So the solution is simple: skip the bacon and sausage. Instead, build a plate where eggs work with partners that elevate their benefits. Try a vegetable omelet with spinach, mushrooms, and tomatoes. Or pair 2 boiled eggs with avocado slices and a side of oatmeal topped with berries. Even scrambled eggs with a handful of sautéed greens can transform your breakfast into a healing meal instead of a harmful one. A small change in pairing can mean the difference between inflammation and vitality. So let eggs be your ally, but choose their friends wisely.
Another mistake I often see, especially among people who believe in natural or raw diets, is eating eggs raw or barely cooked. You might see athletes cracking raw eggs into shakes, or some seniors thinking a soft, runny yolk is the healthiest option. It may look harmless, even trendy, but it carries real risks, especially after the age of 60.
Yes, and the first concern is food safety. Raw or undercooked eggs can carry salmonella, a type of bacteria that causes serious food poisoning. In younger people with strong immune systems, it might only mean a few days of diarrhea or fever. But for older adults whose immunity is weaker, it can lead to severe dehydration, hospitalization, or even life-threatening complications. I've had patients who landed in the emergency room simply because of a habit of eating raw eggs for energy. The second issue is absorption. Protein in raw egg whites contains avidin, a compound that binds to biotin, a B vitamin, and prevents its absorption. It also makes the protein itself harder to digest. That means when you eat raw or half-raw eggs, you're not getting the full nutritional benefit. Your body struggles to break it down, and instead of fueling muscles, much of that protein goes to waste.
Yes, Shigeaki, and this is something very important for seniors. Many older adults are already fighting muscle loss, a condition we call sarcopenia. They desperately need protein that is easy to digest and fully absorbed. If they choose raw or overly soft eggs, they lose a valuable opportunity to nourish their muscles. I also remind my patients that the digestive system slows down with age. What might have been tolerated at 25 can become dangerous at 70. A stomach infection or nutrient deficiency hits harder and takes longer to recover from. For someone with chronic conditions, diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, even a simple food poisoning event can destabilize the whole system. This is why eggs should be prepared with both safety and efficiency in mind. Cooking them properly removes the risk of bacteria and unlocks the protein for better absorption.
So what's the safe and smart way forward? Always cook both the egg white and yolk thoroughly. Boiled, scrambled, or poached until firm ensures the bacteria are destroyed and the nutrients are accessible. If you enjoy soft-boiled or poached eggs with a slightly runny yolk that can be safe only if the egg is heated to at least 70 degrees, but completely raw eggs, whether in smoothies, homemade mayonnaise, or desserts, should be avoided, especially for those over 60.
Cooking doesn't destroy the goodness of eggs. In fact, it enhances their value by making protein easier to absorb, while keeping vitamins like choline lutein and vitamin D intact. By choosing safety, you don't lose nutrition, you actually gain it. Eggs should be a source of strength, not risk. With one small change, cooking them properly, you protect your health, your muscles, and your longevity.
The final mistake isn't about how you cook your eggs, but how you store them. Many people overlook this step, but it's critical for safety and nutrition. Eggs are delicate living foods. When handled poorly, they can quickly become a breeding ground for harmful bacteria.
One of the most common problems I see is people leaving eggs out at room temperature for hours or even days, because that's how we used to do it. The reality is that after just a few hours in a warm kitchen, bacteria like salmonella can begin to multiply on the shell. For older adults whose immune defenses are weaker, this creates a much higher risk of foodborne illness. Another mistake is using cracked eggs. Even a tiny hairline crack in the shell allows bacteria to slip inside. I've had patients who developed food poisoning after using eggs they thought were mostly fine. The truth is, if the shell is damaged, the egg is no longer safe.
Yes, Mark, and this is especially important for seniors. When a younger person eats contaminated food, the body may fight it off with just a day of stomach upset. But in older adults, even a mild infection can turn serious, causing dehydration, weight loss, or worsening of chronic conditions like heart or kidney disease. That's why egg safety must be taken seriously. There is also another detail many people don't know. Washing eggs before storing them actually makes them spoil faster. The shell of an egg is coated with a natural protective layer, often called the bloom. This layer keeps bacteria out and moisture in. When you wash eggs before putting them in the fridge, you strip away that barrier, leaving the egg vulnerable to contamination and quicker spoilage.
The solution is straightforward and easy to follow. Always store eggs in the refrigerator at a stable temperature between 4 and 5 degrees Celsius, about 40 degrees F. Keep them in their original carton or a breathable container, not in a sealed plastic bag, so air can circulate. Never wash eggs before storing. Wait until just before cooking to rinse them gently if needed. Make it a habit to check expiration dates and do a quick freshness test. Place the egg in a bowl of water. If it sinks and lies flat, it's fresh. If it tilts upward or floats, it's time to throw it away. And remember, if an egg is cracked, even slightly, discard it. It's safer to lose one egg than to risk a serious infection.
By respecting these simple storage rules, you protect not only the nutrients inside the egg, but also your health. Eggs should nourish your body, not become a hidden source of illness. And with proper storage, they can remain a safe, reliable source of protein, vitamins, and minerals for weeks at a time.
As we close today's conversation, let's step back and remember the big picture. Eggs are one of nature's most nutrient-dense foods that I often call them the protein pearls. Inside a single shell, you get high-quality protein essential fats and key nutrients like choline, lutein, and vitamin D. These are the very building blocks your body needs to keep muscles strong, the brain's sharp eyes protected, and the heart resilient.
But the truth is this, the benefits of eggs depend entirely on how you eat them. If you fry them in too much oil, throw away the yolk, pair them with bacon or sausage, eat them raw, or store them carelessly, you turn this powerful food into a risk instead of a remedy. The good news is that these mistakes are easy to avoid. And when you do, eggs can remain one of the most affordable, accessible, and effective tools for healthy aging. By making small, smart adjustments, you unlock their full potential to support longevity.
Yes, Shigeaki, and this is the message I want our listeners to take with them. Do not fear eggs. Learn how to eat them wisely. After 60 health is not about extremes or fear-based choices. It's about balance, awareness, and consistency.
For most people, enjoying 3 to 5 eggs per week is not only safe, but highly beneficial, especially when they're boiled, poached, or lightly steamed, and when you pair them with vegetables, whole grains, or healthy fats like avocado, you transform a simple egg into a meal that truly nourishes every part of the body. So don't let outdated myths or careless habits rob you of this gift of nutrition. Embrace eggs with wisdom and let them serve you as allies for strength, energy, and vitality.
If you or someone you love is over 60 and wants to enjoy eggs in the healthiest way possible, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this podcast so more people can learn how to keep eggs on their plate without worry. Also join the conversation in the comments, like, how do you usually eat your eggs, fried, boiled, or steamed? Your next breakfast could be the start of stronger muscles, sharper memory, and a healthier heart. Choose wisely, and let every egg bring you closer to longevity.